Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel, the King of Hidden Gems. I try to bring to your attention fragrances are usually very good value for money. They smell good. They're usually on the radar. Not many people talk about them. I think at least you should do your research. Try them for yourself and see if they're any good to you. So in this video I have a review of one of the most iconic perfumes, fragrances of all times. Okay, this is Encre Noire by Lalique. Okay, Encre Noire by Lalique. Encre Noire in French means black ink, and as you can tell, look at the bottle, is just dark black ink. You can't get blacker than the bottle. The cap is nice and wooden. When you look at the bottle itself, it's very minimalistic and it's very simple, but it has something about it that is mysterious. It's like, what is this? You know, it's like a cube and dark and almost, if it was a round one, it would have been like a black hole almost. So it just basically, it takes the light and it doesn't let it go. It's so that dark and in black. So this beautiful fragrance came out in 2006, and the perfumer for it is one of the most famous perfumers of all times. It's Natalie Lorson. Natalie Lorson is a master perfumer first and foremost. She's been around for a very long time, and she had many hits, including this beautiful Encre Noire, and she has, as far as I can tell, about 280 perfumes under her name. She created 280 perfumes which are, you know, available to purchase. Because I don't know if you know this, but when perfumers try to create perfume, they usually create at least 10 times of what they put out there in order to give their clients, people who ask them to make the perfume for them, the option to choose. So in this case, Encre Noire by Lalique. Lalique is a very famous house, is a Parisian. Their main business is sculpture and pottery, crystal, and also glasses. So this is their main business, or this is how they started. And when you look at the bottle, you can tell this is been made by somebody who know what they're doing in terms of the bottle. Okay, and Lalique house or Lalique brand has got this little bit of edgy, unusual, not all of their fragrances, but some of their fragrances are quite edgy, it's quite artistic. They are a little bit unusual. They don't go to the usually they don't go for mainstream perfumes. They usually are a little bit different from everybody else, and that makes them very interesting. That makes them very attractive to people like me who have a massive perfume collection and they are looking for something unique. Okay, and you cannot get more unique than this beautiful Encre Noire by Lalique. This is the most unique perfume you will ever smell. First thing first, I applaud Lalique for letting Natalie Lorson to create something like this, because at the end of the day they are business and they have to think about selling things. But in this case, they just let her run wild. They probably, the meeting is gone like, Natalie, we want something dark. And she said, how dark? And they say, surprise us. And then she said, okay, if you want me to surprise you, here we go. This is how I do dark fragrances. And to the meeting, when she brought back the perfumes, and usually with the main perfume, which is Encre Noire, and she's got like a few other fragrances to let them smell and see which one they are interested in. How on earth they chose this one is again, they must have been in a different mood, or they must have been drunk or drugged or something, because if a normal day you smell this, you think, hold on a minute, what is this? Yeah, but it doesn't mean this is a bad fragrance. This is, for me, for my taste, for my age, for my experience, this is the ultimate artistry in perfume. Okay, so this is very artistic, it's very unusual, it's very dark, it's very gothic, is very airy. And the airiness in here is not a normal airiness, is a vacuum, space vacuum airiness to it. So it's very, very unique. And for many people, this is very polarizing. Usually with artistic perfumes, this is what happens. The people, they become polarized, they become two competing factions. Some people love it to bits and they praise it to heavens, and some people say, what the hell, what is this? This is not even perfumes, we're not going to even touch it. I am in the camp that is, I love it to bits. Okay, for me, this is the amalgamation of artistry, dariness, the combination of the ingenuity of Natalie Lawson plus the braveness of Lalique to let her to make something like this is just exquisite. Okay, it's just gorgeously mesmerizing. But it's a massive but. This is not for everybody. This is definitely on the mature side. I would say 13 up easy, and definitely for people who are adventurous, for people who like different things, the people who like something shocking, almost something different, something that is out of the band of the normality. So this is not an everyday fragrance. This is not even perfume that you can wear sometimes. No, this is for people who they know exactly what they want. If you are a person who is looking for very, very dark fragrance, super black, dark, airy to the maximumity of the scariness of the airy, it's just so dark and black. Sometimes it gives me feel of I'm in a dungeon, it's so dark. Sometimes it gives me feel of I'm in a basement of an old house which is crumbling around me, and I am imprisoned in there and I cannot escape it. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it gives me the feel of bravery, like a very brave, let's say a Viking fighter, that he doesn't care whatsoever what happened next. He just goes towards the swords and he's just putting himself in the line of, you know, the danger of the duty he feels he has. So it evokes so many emotions, well, at least for me. Okay, for you it could evoke some emotions, it could evoke different emotions, it could not evoke anything, and you just basically cannot stand it and you cannot take it, you cannot wear it, and something like that. So this is all year round there for some strange reason. You can use it any time. You can use it in summer, because even though it's very dark and it's very dense, it's very thick and it's very heavy and it's very black and dark, it's got a freshness to it, which is amazing. How can you make something like this? And even though it's so super dark, in my videos I use this as a benchmark when I'm explaining a perfume, and I say, okay, in terms of darkness from 0 to 10, 10 being the darkest, Encre Noire, I always give the example. Encre Noire is the 10 and the rest of them are. Okay, so this is the darkest fragrance you can ever get, or at least in the market, in the, you know, accessible to buy. Obviously, if you want darker fragrances, they still exist, but you have to go search for them, and they are, you know, maybe 1 in a million, and maybe even customized or made to measure. But to just go and buy and it's just accessible everywhere, this is the darkest you can get. This is the beauty of this fragrance, or another beauty of it, that is accessible, is everywhere, and is very affordable, and is on the reasonable side, which is, again, it adds to the craziness of this fragrance. It's under £30 in United Kingdom. You can find it easy, and although it's been reformulated, and this beauty in front of me is about 2-3 years old, and it doesn't have the oomph of the original 2006, but it's still super dark and it's still quite long lasting. On my skin, goes up to 8 hours. On t-shirt, it goes easily over 10 hours, so it is still quite strong, and it's eau de toilette, so for that it's quite strong. Okay, but this is a fragrance that you buy for reference. Okay, you buy because it's iconic. You buy because you want to know what is a deep, dense, dark, black, gothic fragrance smells like. You buy this because you want to have something in your collection from time to time. Go and smell it and remind yourself that the rest of them are so easygoing. So this is an exception to the rule. It's not an everyday perfume. It's not a perfume that you can just wear and go out. Although in a funny way, it's quite... Look, I've been wearing it for the last 2 days and I absolutely enjoyed it, which is crazy. But you need to have a big personality for this. You need to have massive balls, basically, to wear this, especially if you're going out in public. For me, this is an amazing fragrance in terms of not only the artistic side of it, not only the quality of it, which is crazy. For under £30, when you smell it, you smell natural ingredients in here. And Natalie Lawson, one of her favorite notes of all times is vetiver, and you can understand why. She's done it in here in a beautiful way. So she used few vetiver in here to make it that beautiful inky dark black. So she used bourbon vetiver, Haitian vetiver, and also just a normal vetiver, which is probably Indonesian vetiver, because Indonesian vetiver is one of the most famous ones. And also she put or accompanied with it cypress. So cypress, again, quite similar to vetiver. It's earthy, is green, is leafy, but a little bit brighter. So, but they're relatable in terms of smell and profile, and in terms of category of smell. And the only thing she's put, or at least the note breakdown says here, is musk and cashmere wood. Yeah, it is very woody in the base, and the woods are supportive role to lift the vetiver and let it shine. This perfume, first and foremost, is about vetiver, and more vetiver. Okay, so if you don't like vetiver, naturally you will like this. But if you're like me, you love vetiver, because vetiver is one of those perfumery ingredients and notes that is easy to buy natural, okay, because they are not very expensive, and that is the beauty of it. So they put natural ingredients in here because vetiver is not very expensive. So that's another beauty of it. So when you smell it, it's natural. The musk in here is not natural, obviously. She's got put some musk in here to give it that airiness, that lift it a little bit. But overall, you feel it from time to time, but it's not a huge player. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So if you want something that evokes emotion, if something that gives you shock, if you're a person who has fresh fragrances only in their fragrance, when you smell this, it will give you a massive shock. It would just basically say, whoa, what the... Yeah, it's one of those moments. If you're a person who has easygoing fragrances, crowd pleasing, people's pleaser, and all these things, it will shock you. So this is a perfume for people who appreciate art, they appreciate good quality, they appreciate different genres of perfumery. Because Natalie Lawson plus Lalique, because you have to give the prop to Lalique to give her the green light to go ahead with this. Together they are an amazing team. I always had a big weakness for Lalique, because I know how they choose their perfumes and fragrances, but in this one they exceeded the expectation by huge miles and miles. Okay, And for that, many people love this, and many people can't stand it, can't wear it, can't take it. But for me, this is a beautiful fragrance, and is, although it's quite super masculine, it's very deep and masculine fragrance because of the vetiver, but in a very amazing way, it could be unisex. If you are a lady and you like dark black fragrances, and you like, for example, you wear Gothic clothing, this is a perfume for you. You will be amazed how dark this perfume is, and it goes very well with the dark Gothic clothing. You know, if you are somebody who wear this kind of fragrance, you know, dark makeup, dark clothing, and you like that genre of, you know, fashion, this is going to be one for you. You will absolutely enjoy it. Overall, I give it 10 out of 10 for perfumery, 10 out of 10 for the ingredients, 10 out of 10 for the presentation. The presentation is absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 for ratio for what I paid and what I got out of it. And this is, again, with a big but, is not for everybody. So you have to know what you're buying. Although, you know, the price is right, you can take a risk with it. It's not going to break the bank. It's not going to, you know, cost you a lot of money. And even if you, I would keep it. Okay, so because first time I bought the first version of this many years ago, probably around 2006-07, and the first time I bought it, I couldn't stand it. You know, even though I was collecting perfumes prior to that many years, but still, because I was still young, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand. So I sold it, and I regretted it later because I said to myself, why did I sell it? Just keep it as a reference. So I went and bought another bottle after that, and also this one, which about 3-4 years ago. But even if you, right now, when you buy it and you smell it for the first time, you think, oh my god, this is not for me, just keep it as a reference. Keep it, because we all have you know, taste development. Okay, our taste changes, our taste develop, especially with age, especially with experience. And if you try to have many fragrances, later on you would appreciate this much more. Okay, so highly recommend it. To me, this is a no-brainer. I think everybody should have at least one bottle of Encre Noire in their collection, as the reason I explained. Okay guys, so this was the review of this beautiful, amazing, edgy, artistic, unusual, dark, Gothic, black, it's like a dark cathedral, and you're in the basement of that dark cathedral. Oh, by the way, sometimes I get some incensey feeling here, which again is not mentioned in the note breakdown. Maybe it's a combination of notes, but I definitely get some incensey feel, some dark incense, and also a little bit of black pepper, and also a little bit of the smoke is not too overpowering in here, but definitely is smoky. Okay guys, so if you are like me, you are a crazy person and you have it, if you tried it, let us know your experience. That would be super useful for others to read. If you like what I do, if you find it useful, informative, valuable, or entertaining, don't forget to hit those buttons. This way you help me, encourage me, motivate me to bring you crazy fragrances like this in future that nobody else is talking about. They're definitely very daring and very unusual and very amazing, and definitely hidden gems. If you want to purchase one of my own perfume, I'm a perfumer myself. I'm not as professional as Natalie Lawson. I can work with naturals, but I cannot work with synthetics. So because Natalie Lawson, not only she's a perfumer, she's a master perfumer, she's a chemist first and foremost, and she is a magician to make something like this for us. We are so lucky to live in an era that Natalie Lawson come up with something like this to give us this beautiful fragrance that nobody else dares to make. Okay guys, thank you very much. As always, I leave the link for my own perfume if you are interested, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much. Bye.